The headlines will tell you Melbourne is flat. They'll tell you to wait. But while everyone else is sitting on their hands, the smart money is quietly picking up assets in growth corridors. Welcome back to Prop Spotter, the smarter way home. We help you invest in property, translate data, and make the right decision on your property investing journey. You can check out more about us on our website at propspotter.com.au. I'm your host, Sean, and if you're new here, we do things a little differently. We don't do hype, we don't do gut feelings. We do data. We look at the numbers the mainstream media ignores to find the warm spots before they boil over. Today, we're tackling the biggest question I get currently. Is there anything left in Melbourne under $700,000 that isn't a lemon? I've crunched the numbers. I've looked at the vacancy rates, the capital growth trends, and the infrastructure pipelines. And I have found 5 suburbs, yes, 5, that are sitting under $700,000 median, have low vacancy rates, and have clocked over 5% capital growth in the last 12 months. We are talking about Pakenham. We are talking about Werribee. We're talking about Hoppers Crossing. And I've got 2 more powerhouse suburbs, including a massive growth corridor in the northwest, that are posting numbers you need to see to believe. Grab your notepad, grab a coffee, let's spot some properties. Before we dive into the list, we need to set the ground rules. Why did I pick these 5? If you're buying under $700,000 in today's market, you cannot afford to speculate. Interest rates are real. Holding costs are even more real. You need an asset that is going to wash its own face while doing the heavy lifting in capital growth. So the criteria for today's 5 were strict. Number 1, house prices are available under $700,000. We want accessible entry points. The median may sit higher than 700, but we're looking for suburbs that are still clocking sales sub 700 grand, and I've included examples for you to gloss over. Growth. They must have achieved at least 5% capital growth in the last 12 months. We don't want dead money. We don't want to catch a falling knife. We want markets that are moving now and have strong potential to continue to move as we ease into 2026. So let's get straight into it, shall we? Number 1, Pakenham, Victoria, 3810. Make no mistake here. This is the southeast growth corridor. We are talking Pakenham. Pakenham used to be the butt of the joke for being too far away. Well, look who's laughing now. The median house price in Pakenham is sitting at $750,000. It's seen a solid growth of 7.2% over the last 12 months. That is nearly 7% in what experts are calling a flat market. Why is Pakenham working? Infrastructure. Level crossing removals are done. The new stations are active. You have young families who are priced out of nearby Berwick and Officer, where houses are $900,000 or more. Push 10 minutes down the road to Pakenham. And best of all, my 2 favorite food chains are present. Guzman and Gomez and El Jana. Cheap eats galore. In Pakenham, you're getting a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom brick home on a decent block for under $700,000. The vacancy here is incredibly tight because people live here. This is a genuine family hub. Move quick though, as prices won't last long. Some recent examples in Pakenham: 6 Cara Court, Pakenham. A 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house sold for $620,000 on the 9th of January. 1 Matthews Court, Pakenham. A 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house sold for $685,000 on the 30th of December. And last but not least, 12 Meeby Drive, Pakenham. A house sold for $665,000 on the 29th of December 2025. Suburb number 2, where we'll be heading over west. You know it, you might love it, or you might hate it, but you cannot ignore the numbers. Werribee. Werribee is the capital of the West. It's not just a suburb, it's a satellite city sitting in between Melbourne and Geelong. Let's look at the data. The median in Werribee is currently sitting at $700,000. It's very affordable. It's had growth of 6.7% in the last year, grinding upwards consistently. The vacancy rate in the market is hovering at around 2%. That is a balanced to tight market. Here's the secret sauce for Werribee. It has its own economy. You have the hospital, the university campus, the zoo, and the Pacific Werribee shopping centre. People don't just sleep in Werribee. They work there or they commute the 45 minutes into the city. You may find families doing a combination of both. That in itself creates a sticky tenant base tied to Werribee. You are able to buy in now at under $700,000 and get yourself a solid yield. Wait for the long-term infrastructure gap to close. It's a textbook blue-collar growth play. Some examples in Werribee, 6 Griffith Street, where you had a 3-bed, 1-bath on 808 square meters sell for $700,000 on the 19th of January. 1 Corbing Street, where you had a 4-bed, 3-bath on 585 square meters sell for $672,000 on the 15th of January. And 14 Potomac Close, another 4-bed, 2-bath, sold for $655,000 on the 12th of January. Right next to it, we have its slightly older, slightly more established brother, Hoppers Crossing. Hoppers has that established field. Big blocks, 1980s brick bills, solid bones. And the data tells us much of the same. Here, you've got a median house price of $799,000. It's the standout performer in the West right now. 7.6% growth in the last 12 months. It's outperforming the Melbourne average significantly. Days on market are just a low 25 days with little to no building approvals in Hoppers Crossing. Why Hoppers? The train station is right in the heart of the suburb. You also have direct freeway access via the Princess Highway without getting stuck in the new estate traffic traps further out. Hoppers and the surrounding suburbs are the biggest beneficiaries to the new Westgate Tunnel that opened last month in December. Investors are realizing that for $670,000, you can get a renovation potential property on 600 square meters of land. In 2026, land value is king. We aren't making any more land in established suburbs with train stations. Some examples for you to gloss over: 1 Mossfield Drive, 4-bed, 2-bath on 572 square meters, sold for $650,000 on the 17th of January. 104 Warringah Street, 4-bed, 2-bath on 537 square meters, sold for $700,000 on the 15th of January. And 8 Hampstead Drive, a 3-bed, 2-bath on 562 square meters, sold for $655,000 on the 15th of December 2025. Suburb number 4, the one we haven't mentioned yet. It's a new addition to the list, and this time we're going northwest to a suburb that is absolutely booming and set to double in population in the next 20 years. Yes, that's right. We're talking Sunbury. This is no longer a country town. It is a fully fledged growth zone, and I'll let the numbers do the talking. You're looking at a median price of $834,000, but that is made up of markets within markets. It's had a chill 4% in the last 12 months, when most of blue chip Melbourne was flat. Days on market are also low at 27 days. Good quality property in Sunbury can fly off the shelf in hours as opposed to days, and it is a relatively large suburb with a population of 40,000 people and growing quickly. Sunbury is unique. It has a confined supply because of its geography, but massive demand. The population is set to forecast to double by 2046. That is another 40,000 people who need a roof over their head in Sunbury in the next 20 years. You've got the metro line upgrade, you've got the road duplications, and you've got a town centre that feels premium compared to other outer rings, and a household income higher than all other suburbs we've discussed on this list. Families are moving here for the lifestyle, but they're staying for the connectivity. Buying here under $700,000 feels like buying in the southeast 5 years ago. You're getting an old house on a large block of land for that price, but the estates coming up all around you are building houses at a similar price on half or even a third of the land size, all under $700,000. Here are some examples of properties that sold in Sunbury in the last months that could fit your criteria. Number 1, 13 Hood Crescent, a 4-bed, 2-bath on 654 square meters, selling for $670,000. Number 2, 11 Portimore Court, Sunbury, a 3-bed, 1-bath on 726 square meters for $670,000. And number 3, 40 Gleneagles Drive, Sunbury, a 3-bed, 1-bath on 721 square meters that sold for $686,000. And finally, the 5th suburb, we turn back east. This is my gentrification pick of the year, Frankston North. Let's not forget the area carries a stigma. from as recent as 5 years ago and even more stigma longer back. But it's time now to get over it, to forget about it. The market has moved on. In Frankston North, the median price is currently touching $700,000. We're talking a 19% growth in the last 12 months, and it's not yet ready to slow down. Frankston North, ladies and gentlemen, is transforming. You are bordering Frankston proper and Seaford, where properties are over $1 million. You are minutes from the beach, minutes from the freeway in Eastlink, and you're paying sub $700,000. The bridesmaid suburb effect is in full swing here. As Frankston becomes the new St. Kilda, Frankston North becomes the affordable alternative. The capital upside here is massive because the land value is being dragged up by its rich neighbors. But not for long. Frankston North is likely to be the first suburb to get out of this list, and it will get out of it very, very quickly. Here are some recent sales, and there were none from this year so far. Number 1, 35 Candlebar Crescent, 3-bed, 1-bath on 630 square meters, sold for $640,000 on the 8th of December. Number 2, 86 Excelsior Drive, 3-bed, 1-bath on 591 square meters, sold for $640,000 in November 2025. And last but not least, 441 Frankston Dandenong Road, a 3-bed, 1-bath on 599 square meters that sold for $695,000 in October 2025. Now, each one of those properties certainly had its flaws in Frankston North, but what you're essentially buying is that land value. That land in Frankston North can never be replaced again and will continue to grow. So there you have it, guys. Pakenham, Werribee, Hoppers Crossing, Sunbury, and Frankston North. 5 suburbs, all with houses under $700,000, all growing fast and with tenants lining up to pay rent. Don't listen to the doom and gloom headlines. The opportunities are there if you know how to read the data. If you have got value out of this, do me a favor, smash that like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It tells YouTube we're providing real value and helps us reach more investors like yourself. And remember, buying property isn't about luck. It's about buying the right asset at the right time. I'm Sean, this is Prop Spotter, and I'll see you in our next video.